Hello, it is Saturday, February 4th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Sunday crossword, of course, today, which means we're going to be solving a big grid. You can see that jumbo-sized grid behind the gauzy privacy veil. And it's themed, big themed jumbo puzzle. And this jumbo-themed edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Josh Allen, Quartidiophile, Overfull Hitbox, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to the four of them. They're benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. That means that they bring us this channel, support this series, keep it going day in, day out, and I'm very appreciative of that. So thank you so much to those four for their support, but also thank you to everybody who's a patron of the channel. It does mean a lot to me, and it does sustain this whole enterprise. So thank you. And if you'd like to support the channel in that way, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field. There you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons, as well as for benefactors, the Let's Check the Crosses official mug. Thanks again for your support. And there's also the Daily Solve Discord chat server, which you can join via a description field link, similarly. And finally, if you'd like to support this channel in another way, you can subscribe on YouTube, like the videos, and comment if you feel so moved. Those things all chip into helping YouTube, I don't know, I suppose recognize people, enjoy engaging with these videos, and help promote them to other people. And anyway, those things are appreciated. So now let's get on to today's crossword. This is a Sunday-themed edition by Daniel Grinberg, who's constructed around half a dozen puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, as always, by Will Shortz, and like all Sunday puzzles, it's given a title. This one's entitled Punch Lines. No idea what that one is going to mean just yet, but let's start solving and find out. Okay, pink, purple, and blue pride display familiarly. I'm not sure I can't remember which flag that is offhand, but we'll come back to it. Hound could be dog, either as a noun or a verb, to hound someone, to dog them, maybe. Peacock parent. Is this, well, I was going to say, is this a word for a particular sort of peacock, gender, like a cob for a swan or something? But it could also be NBC, which owns the Peacock streaming service. And that would make more sense because I don't think there's enough specificity in this to infer the other possibility. But I still don't really know. Hound. That could be nag, to hound someone, to nag them. I think that was one of the things I might have said, but if not, it's still possible. And exclamation of amazement, aha. So let's see. Oh, B would be surprising, though, then, if that were the case. Target of an inventory scan. Maybe these things aren't correct. Alternative to Nana. Oh, granny. So this would be a way to refer to your grandmothers. Okay, so that's good for nag. Target of an inventory. Oh no, this could be a B. NBC, because this could be a barcode. You could, if you're scanning inventory in a store, you could scan the barcodes. Okay. So exclamation of amazement could be AAH. That's interesting. I don't usually think of that as an exclamation of, I suppose I do. You say, okay, never mind. That does sound plausible to me. Okay, fair enough. Moved like a cat burglar, you crept around stealthily. And a gig has 1,000 of these. Oh, this isn't Granny. Maybe it's Grammy. Because a gig has 1,000 megabytes. A gigabyte has 1,000 megabytes in terms of computer storage. Shake slightly, to jostle, or to... I'm sure Megs is correct. Ukraine's third most populous city. Based on I wouldn't have known specifically, this was the third most populous city, certainly, but based on the crosses, I would imagine it's Odessa. Let's look at the crosses and see. Kind of opening. Not sure. Fault line, right. Okay, so this will presumably be one of our punch lines. Maybe all of our theme clues will have line in them, maybe? Punch lines, fault line, other kinds of line. Anyway, what would this one be? Fault line. Something about harmed. If you're at fault, a source of harm. I don't know. Shake slightly. Boggle? Goggle? I don't know. I don't know what this... Oh, charge something? Fault line. Charged charger? Where a lot of lying happens. Bed. You lie in bed, literally. So slightly punny there. And then kind of opening. Oh, job opening. Okay, there we go. Simple enough. So to shake slightly is to joggle? What am I not seeing about this word? If it were shook slightly, I could see jogged. You kind of jogged it a bit. You shook it slightly. I don't know what this is. I feel this is probably a G for charged, but maybe it isn't. I just can't think of what other letter would fit there for both directions. Anyway, what about this? Shaped like a kiwi fruit. Oh, I must have something wrong here. Crept seems right. Maybe Grammy is wrong. Shaped like a kiwi fruit. Ovate? A sort of egg. Oh, wait, no, kiwi fruit. No. Kiwi fruit. Yeah, it's basically, no, that is basically ovate. Yeah. So grandma maybe then? No, haven't been helped. Blank in math, over. So you could say 6/4, 6/4. Essentially what you're saying there. And communal housing arrangements, dorms, dormitories, as in on a university campus, for instance. Fine line, yes, okay, so we indeed, here for our first theme clue, we have fault line. For our second, we have fine line, and they each of them has a question mark as a pun indicator there. So what is the fine line? Freedom, something, I guess there could be lots of dumbs. Kingdom, it could be anything. Oh, I don't know. So confused by this shake slightly clue. I just do not understand what it is. This really feels like it's going to be charged. Fault line. I mean, it feels like this is going to be the word joggle, but I don't think I've ever heard of that before. To shake slightly, to joggle something. It doesn't sound familiar to me at all. Huh. Okay, fine line. I don't know. I don't understand the theme yet, so I shouldn't keep wasting time on it just yet. Word after dead or data? Nickname that drops AN dash. An, Ansel, Andy, Annie, Ann. I don't know. I can't think of one. Okay. Permitted. Oh, and then we have another permitted right here. Well, one of them could be let, as in allowed, let you do something, allowed you to do it. There's a hole in one. There's a hole in one. And gloaters cry. I rule. I've seen I rule in the crossword before, but I don't know if there's enough information to assume that that's correct. Let's see. One named indie singer with the 2007 hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, I can probably put flag in here. I'm sure this will be a flag. By flag, maybe? There's a hole in one. Oh, a bagel. A bagel has a hole. There we go. There we go. New bagel kiosk opened at my local Sunday farmers market, and it's been very good. Very pleased about it. Anyway, nipple rings. Oh, areola. So I don't know if there's a term for for nipple rings as a jewelry, but as an anatomical, as an anatomical term. How do you spell this? Areola. I'm not sure. I'm not certain this is the correct spelling. Let's look at neighbor of control. No, it isn't. Okay. Oh, it ends in L-A-E. Areol. That looks better. That looks correct to me. Areolae. There we go. Okay, so that's the plural. So we'll hear Kink's hit that starts, I met her in a club down in Old Soho. That's Lola. What an absolutely amazing song. And then neighbor of control is alt. And one named indie singer with the 2000 hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this I don't know. Sense of orientation would be one's. Oh, and it's an appropriate cross for this clue. Because this does look like bi flag, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, and that's an appropriate cross here because I think sense of orientation is gaydar. In other words, ability to kind of pick up on someone's sexual orientation. So it is a punny. It is a punny clue. Oh, this looks like guilty as charged. Fault line. Why didn't I think of that? Sorry, I just got distracted because I'm very pleased to finally get this area unblocked. So this is joggle, I guess? I can't think of what else this word would be. That's so funny. I just don't recognize it. I'll have to look that up and just. I mean, it's very easy to imagine what that word is. It's not as though it's a sort of obscure word in terms of what you might infer it to be. I just don't remember having heard it before. Anyway, Olaf's creator in Frozen. Oh, Olaf creator must be the snowman, and then Elsa is the character from the film. So Gloater's Cry. It is I Rule. Oh, that's funny. And then one named indie singer Feist. Okay, I have heard that name, but I didn't know the song. Okay, what about this? Brings in. If you bring in money, you earn it. So brings in, earns. Okay, good. I feel as though that was a big. I was sort of just wading through molasses there. It was entirely my fault. I'm not saying anything negative about the puzzle, but I'm glad to be moving on now. Dre is the nickname that drops AN. Andre drops AN frequently as a nickname for Dre. There we go. Or a nickname being Dre. Word after dead or data. Dead set or data set. You could be dead set on something, or you could be manipulating a data set. And then fine line is. Why do I struggle so much with these? Fine line. Can't complain. This is not dorms. This is not that. Okay. Not a typo, just a mistake. Well, a different kind of mistake. Communal housing arrangements. Probably still ends with S. Oops, but I don't know what it is. Anatomical stabilizer. The ear? Your ear sort of has a sense of balance. That might not be what it means. Toe? You state yes. You shift your weight and stabilize with your toe. Maybe that's the answer. Communal housing. Oh, coops, like hens in a coop. Okay, there we go. Chicken coop. There we go. Enough. I get the picture already. TMI, too much information. Long-running police procedural for short. NCIS. I don't remember what it stands for, but yeah, it is a long-running televised police procedural. So there we go. Okay, volunteers declaration. I can. Simple enough. Hostile state. Enemy. Enmity. Oh, enmity. So, right. Not a hostile state as a noun as in a hostile nation, but rather a state of being, a state of affairs. Enmity would be hostility. Okay, fishing line. Imprep fishing. I'm not sure. Fishing for compliments, maybe? I'm not sure. Preserves things. Jars. You jar something to preserve it, like jam or something like that. A preserve, I suppose. Soothe. To soothe someone would be to calm them. And co-founder of the Joining Forces Initiative with Michelle Obama. I'm not sure. What about this? Blank attachment. I don't know. Fishing line. Right, we're back to this again. Okay. World Heritage Site in Sicily. Not sure. To nail stuff. Was it Etna? Blank email attachment. There we go. Yeah, okay. So Mount Etna, the volcano. There we go. And then fishing line. Tell me. Ground grain. Meal. Yep, as in cornmeal. It's ground up grain. Dame Edna for Barry Humphries. So Dame Edna is a character performed by Barry Humphries for decades upon decades. So alias, I suppose. And then fishing line. Tell me. Tell me. It's two different words. It is fishing for a compliment, but it's not a phrase that means fishing for compliment. It is a phrase that is itself fishing for a compliment. So tell me I'm pretty. There we go. Okay, so what's going on with this theme? I guess it's just puns. It's sort of just punny ways to refer to particular phrases. So guilty as charged, you could punnily say, is a fault line. You're admitting fault. Tell me I'm pretty is a fishing line. You're fishing for compliments. So yeah, I think that's what it is. All right. Jill Biden, maybe. I bet that's the case because both first ladies. And then To Kill a Mockingbird setting, Alabama. Is it Macon, Alabama, I think, where To Kill a Mockingbird is set. Salamander named after an Aztec deity. Axolotl? Oh, maybe not. Let's see. What about this one? Subway line. Subway sandwiches. Submarine sandwiches sold by Subway, the chain. So 6-inch sandwiches. Okay, there we go. That's the answer. It's not really a sort of phrase in the sense of being something you'd say, and it has valence or meaning because of how often it's used. But yeah, fair enough. That's the answer. Okay. Oh well, maybe it is axolotl, and maybe I've just spelled it incorrectly. Okay. Tittle could be a dot. I'm not actually sure that would work actually with what I wanted this word to be. Tittle, dot. I'm not sure I quite know that word, but there we go. With an eager spirit, gamely maybe, or you're game, you're eager, you're up for the task. Oh, I think when I spelled this before, I just didn't put the O in there. Okay, this must be how it's spelled, axolotl. Okay, good. That's what I wanted it to be, and it seems to be the case. South American grassland, right? Llano, Llano. This is a grassland, Spanish term for a grassland that is common in South America. Superficial in a way. Glib, maybe you're speaking glibly. You're superficially, maybe. I'm not sure that's right. Let's look at the crosses. Variety. If this were an I, it could be ilk. Variety, a kind, an ilk. So if this were glib, ladybugs and fireflies. I don't know. Bugs? I'm not sure. Rich with metaphor. We could be referring to, I don't know, a poet or something whose name is rich, but probably not. It probably just means replete with metaphor. But I'm not sure. Party line. Oh, right. Here's one in the Downs. I don't think we've seen one of these theme clues in the Downs before. Make party line. Not sure. Boxing stats. TKOs, maybe. Technical knockouts, could be. Janitor's ringful. Keys. Ringful of keys that a janitor walks around with. Spanish bear. Oso. Simply the Spanish word for bear. Oh, beetles. Ladybugs and fireflies. There we go. Okay. There must be kinds of beetles. I might have known that. I'm not sure, honestly. Not offhand. Rich with metaphor. I don't know. Party line, not sure. Kind of clef, a treble clef. So this is used in music notation to indicate the range of notes that the music staff represents. Okay, North American fish with toxic roe. Is it the gar? I don't know if the gar has toxic roe, but it would fit in 3 letters ending with an R, so I'm going to look at it and see. Rich with metaphor. I don't know. I guess Adrienne Rich she's a poet, but it doesn't fit in the grid. Party line, I don't know. Groundskeeping equipment, illegal offering. Bribe? You could offer someone a bribe, that would be illegal. Bog plant, a reed maybe. You often think of reeds as being in a bog, a marsh. Passage of right. Passage of right. Not sure. Timetable. Abbreviation is schedule. There we go. Schedule is a timetable. Oh. No, party line. Never mind, party line. Make me rich doesn't fit. I don't know what this is. I don't know why it would be the answer anyway. I don't know, I just can't see it. And then rich with metaphor probably ends in IC. And passage of right. If this were, oh, allegoric. Okay, I see. As in a story that's rich with metaphor is an allegoric story, or it is an allegory. There we go. So, it represents something else metaphorically. Okay, North American fish with toxic growth does look like gar, doesn't it? And then party line. I don't know what this one is. Oh, make a wish birthday party. Right, okay, there we go. Fair enough. And then passage of rite, an aisle. Oh, I see. Yes, is in a marriage ceremony, for instance, which is a rite. You walk down the aisle. That's the passage that you walk down. Okay, great. Degrees for CFOs, chief financial officers, would be MBAs, Masters in Business Administration, and groundskeeping equipment would be mowers, lawn mowers for the grass. Great. Okay, power line. I don't know. And school name that sounds like a Canadian territory. Sounds like, but presumably is not spelled like. Yukon, is there a school? Yeah, no, I see. Yes, University of Connecticut. Yukon. There we go. And it sounds like the Canadian territory, the Yukon territory, Yukon. There we go. Okay, power line. You can do it or something. I don't know. It's signed after a break. Don't know. Oh, okay. I do know. It's a cast. You break your leg, you have a cast put on it, and then people sign it, I suppose. It happens in school frequently. Switched could be, I don't know. And actress Thompson of Westworld. I think I only watched the first episode of this, so I don't particularly remember who's in it, but Tessa Thompson is indeed an actress, so maybe that's the answer. Let's see. So, here we go. Some sports car features T-tops. I feel T-tops used to be in the crossword pretty frequently. I don't see it as much anymore, and it's not really very frequently used as an actual sports car feature anymore, as far as I'm aware. So maybe that's one of the reasons. But it's sort of a kind of convertible. It's like a sort of semi-convertible sports car format. Anyway, switched. Not sure. And Canadian Tulip Festival location. I don't know this, but it looks like it must be Ottawa. So there we go. I think that must be the answer. Second year abbreviation could be sophomore in U.S. high school or university sort of year naming. And then power line. You bet or you get. Not sure. Oh, actually, another one of those looks likely here. Maybe your. Oh, no, yeah, it is. You're the best or something like that. You're the best. You're the tops. I don't know what else could fit in 4 letters. Probably you're the best. Hip Hop Awards Channel, BET maybe. Black Entertainment Television, I believe it stands for. And so if you're the best, lightheaded sorts. I don't know. Selling points, assets, positive elements. Okay. So this is what I was going to solve. So let's come back to this. Switched. Traded. There we go. That's it. And subject line. Okay, so we're not getting a revealer that's explaining the theme. We're just getting more of the theme, which makes sense. The theme was fairly self-explanatory. So subject line. Subject. Nods, gods. Not sure. 2 outs left in baseball. 1 away. I don't know that terminology, but I know that it's 3 outs before before the inning ends. So maybe if there are 2 left, it's 1 away. I don't know, but I just don't know what else would fit there. So let's try it and see. Blank Corton. Do not know this phrase. Woo courtin? I mean, to woo means to court someone. I have no idea. No idea what this is. There's more to the story, right? And you could ask. So, to go a courtin. I see. To sort of to go court someone. To go a courtin. All right. So this is God's something. Subject line. Gods and I don't know. Shot in the arm, slangily. A vaccination, maybe? A shot in the arm, or a jab. That's what you call it here in the UK. Don't know which I think it is. The Shining. Okay, no, I think it's the X, because in The Shining, the Stanley Kubrick film, there's Jack Nicholson wields an axe maniacally at Shelley Duvall. And there's that amazing shot where the camera tracks the axe as it swings forward. Shot in the arm, slangily. So yes, it is Vax. Here we go. So, God, God save the Queen in this case. A slightly outdated reference to the British national anthem. Subject line. In other words, as a British subject, you might say, God save the Queen. Or now, God save the King. But there we go. Okay, so I think, did we get all of the theme clues? No, probably this must be one. It is. We'll get there eventually. Okay, what's what in Oaxaca? K, so what, K-Q-U-E in Spanish. And then quakes, seisms, so, tremors, earthquakes. New Mexican tribe. Not sure off the top of my head. That's frustrating. Gestational metric. Something about the time it takes for a fetus to develop or something. I'm not sure what the metric we're looking for is here. Something like that, maybe? I'm not sure. First stringers. A team. There we go. I think we had C team in the puzzle the other day. Posts in a rage, perhaps. Maybe you're ranting, you're posting in a rage. Simple card game. War is a simple card game. I think War is a game where it is the outcome is completely deterministic. I think my understanding of how War works is that there's nothing any player can do to influence the outcome. However the deck is shuffled will determine it. Gestational metric. Weeks. Okay, there you go. So you measuring gestation time in weeks. That's simple enough. Z to Zeno, zeta. So simply in the Greek alphabet. Oh, is it Zuni? That sounds familiar to me. New Mexico tribe. Zuni, maybe. And then what would this be? Whoops. Yes, that does work, because performed really badly would be stunk at. You performed really badly. You stunk at something. Okay. Although, why is it I performed really badly? I stunk at it. This feels wrong. Because you'd say, I performed really badly at that thing, but the at is already in stunk at. So then if you swapped these two, you'd then say, I stunk at solving crosswords. I stunk at solving crosswords. I performed really badly crosswords. No, you can use it that way. Yeah. Okay. Right. So you just have to use it in a very specific manner. And it's not gonna sound very good. But you could say, if you say I stunk at this role, for instance, in a play, you could say I performed really badly this role. I performed this role really badly. I stunk at it. Yeah, it does work when you say it that way. Wow. But you really have to sort of torture it a little bit. But grammatically, it can be strictly used in that manner. Okay, light-headed sorts. I don't know. Otherworldly creatures for short. ETs, extraterrestrials. There we go. Light-headed sorts. I don't know. Are these all correct? Yeah, they all seem fine. What about this one? Currency replaced by the euro. The mark, the German mark. Light-headed sorts. Moths? Moths head towards light. So maybe this isn't you're the best. Maybe it's you're the boss. Power line. Oh, I suppose, yeah, no, that is better. That's better because a boss has power. Simply being the best doesn't mean you have power. I mean, it might result in you having power, but it doesn't intrinsically mean that. But being the boss, that's definitionally true. Okay, well, there we go. I had that wrong. Bunny blank photo prank, but bunny ears behind someone's head. All right. And then British bottoms are arses. There we go. So British simply meaning British in British English is all that means. Kids and nannies are goats. As in a kid goat, kid baby goat or a nanny goat. Let's see. That wouldn't work with this though. Okay, we'll keep solving and see what happens with that. Liberated. If you're liberated, you're free. NSA agents, e.g., are, I don't know, National Security Agency agents. I'm not sure what they would be particularly, at least in a three-letter singular or four-letter plural. March blank, March hare. I think the March hare, that's right. But let's check the crosses and see. Kids and nannies. Boy, goats would still fit here if not for that S. Strange. Subway line. Oh, no, it isn't Subway sandwiches. It's 6-inch or foot long. There we go. It's a line that makes more sense because 6-inch sandwich. I was saying earlier, it doesn't really seem like a line, does it? It's not really a thing you'd say, but 6-inch or foot long is the line you'd be given. It's the line you'd hear at a Subway shop. Okay, there we go. So kids and nannies are goats. That is what the answer is. And assembly line, I don't know. Person of interest, a loan shark, someone who loans you money at high rates of interest. Oh, and was that? No, never mind. It wasn't one of the theme clues. Genealogist chart is a tree, a family tree. Scams, this could be a verb. Yes, it is, rips off. You scam someone, you rip them off. And then NSA agents are feds, federal agents. Okay, that should have gotten that immediately, but I didn't. Assembly line, not sure. And celestial shape is an orb, like a planet or something, or a star. What might lead to a bridge? A verse in a song. So you have the verse and then the bridge, maybe to the chorus. Flying formation, so geese fly in V's, for instance, and that could be one. Subside could be to ebb, as in a tide will ebb, it will subside. And then HBO comedy about a sports agent. I'm not sure. Assembly line. Oh, please be seated, as in an assembly, a gathering of people. There we go. Oh, Arliss. I've never seen this, but I didn't even know it was on HBO, to be honest with you. But I have heard of the show Arliss, and I guess it must be about a sports agent. So that'll be it, I think. And then first color TV manufacturers, RCA. Okay, great. Don't know if I knew that they were that, but they are certainly a television manufacturer. And then if you thought the world of someone, you adored them. This looks like good cop. It is. One role in a classic interrogation trope would be good cop, as in the good cop, bad cop trope on, cop shows and things. Mediterranean morsel, an olive, certainly very associated with the Mediterranean region. And then zoomed, sped, you went quickly, you zoomed towards something. Not down in a way. Oh, to sip maybe. So if you down a shot of whiskey or something, you just, go one big gulp. Whereas if you would sip at it, you wouldn't be downing it. Okay, I think that's right. Processes or processes, it could be a verb or a noun. Not sure. What about this? Director Lupino, Ida Lupino. It's a film director. And then processes are, digests. It is a verb in this case. Okay, there we go. Volunteers declaration. I'm in. No, can't complain looks right. In it. I don't know. I can't say what this is for some reason. The Green Hornet's assistant. Right, okay. Despite having never seen or read a single Green Hornet related thing, I somehow am aware that the Green Hornet has an assistant named Kato, so I think that's right, the superhero character. I'm not sure which sort of superhero universe this one's from, but I certainly have at least heard of it. And then capital of Japan until 1868. Oh, Kyoto, former Japanese capital. Catalan artist Joan Miró. Let's just check the crosses on that to be sure. Like many retired professors, emerita. So if you're a professor emeritus, you're retired. But you might still do guest lectures or something. Petty arguments could be tiffs, a little spat, little argument. And TLC or Run DMC, either one could be a trio. So each of those groups has 3 members, a trio. And then match well. Oh, and just as a reminder, because this is an or clue, you're only referring to either TLC or Run DMC. So it's a single trio. It's not plural, even though you might understandably assume it would be. To match well with would be to something. Befit. Oh, Emir with an E. Sorry, I misspelled Emirata. Apologies. I was spelling it like Emirates, like the United Arab Emirates or something. Erroneously. Okay, so to match well with would be to befit you, and then blank. Bowie knife. I feel as though when I say this, sometimes I say it incorrectly and people correct me, and then now I second guess myself, but I don't know if I'm sort of reverse psychologizing myself into the wrong pronunciation again. Is it Bowie knife, or is it Bowie knife? I don't know. Someone will tell me. Okay, let's see. 1970s to 80s, Supreme Court Justice Blank F. Powell Jr. Ooh, I'm not sure. Not sure. Oh, wait a second. Emeritus. Yeah, it's spelled this way. Sorry, I completely butchered the spelling of emerita here before. I was actually spelling it like Emirates. That's so funny. That's odd that I was doing that, but I was. Anyway, sorry, I still don't think I know the answer to this. I was just glancing at the crosses and realized and made that mistake again. Hotspot hell, I suppose, would literally be that. Oh, Lewis F. Powell Jr. maybe, and then gives a hand. Yes, if you give someone a hand, you clap. So that would be Lewis. And then if you land, right, so if a bird landed on a telephone wire, for instance, it lit on it, and then gives a hand claps. Yep, we saw that. So we just have one corner to finish off. Front woman for the Pussycats. So the cartoon band, Josie and the Pussycats, I think out of which they made a live action film as well. Item in a trunk, junk. Is it? It's not really an item though, is it? Not sure. Post-surgery prescription. Post-surgery prescription. Something like rest or something. I don't know. Not sure. Private line. Oh, sir, yes, sir. There we go. Oh, right. Okay, this is one of our theme clues. So this is a line that a private might deliver to an officer. Sir, yes, sir. Okay, motivator, initiative. That would be. No, that's not right. That's not right. No, it isn't. Crikey. Egad, maybe a sort of slightly quaint oath. Acting like. If you say, oh, I'm doing Michael Caine, I'm acting like Michael Caine. I'm not sure this is the correct answer, but it could be plausible. This doesn't look good though, does it? No. Okay, that's wrong. Qualifier for a date. Sorta? If you're saying, oh, is this a date? You could say sorta. I'm not sure. Qualifying it in that way. I'm not sure that that's correct either. Permitted. And volunteer's declaration. Oh, on it. Volunteer. That's it. Okay, so if you permitted something, you okayed it. Great. Maybe item in a trunk is junk. That's weird to me. I wouldn't think of junk as being an item. I think of it as being a sort of an indefinitely sized collection of items. But I think it must be right. So acting like. Oh, no. No, my instinct was right. I think it's a jack. In other words, if you need to replace a tire, you might have a jack in the trunk of the car in order to raise the car up. Okay, that makes more sense. Should have gone with my sort of observed my original instincts. Anyway, so if you're acting like you're aping them, you're imitating them. Okay, there we go. And then a qualifier for a date. Not sure. This looks like opiate. Yes, but it is post-surgery prescription opiate. So for pain relief. There we go. And then qualifier for date circa. Right. Okay. If you say circa, 800 AD, it would be around that point. Okay. Motivator, incentive. There we go. Something you give somebody to incentivize or motivate them. And then atomic number of neon. It must be 10. And there we go. And as usual, Sunday crossword, pretty much always for me anyway, on the video solves anyway, almost always come in right around 40 minutes. It's amazing how consistent that is. I find that fascinating. But there we go. That was our Sunday crossword full of punch lines. And let's go over them quickly. So we simply had a series of phrases, relatively common or recognizable phrases, that are punnily referred to with this blank line format. So a fault line is guilty as charged, you're admitting fault. Our fine line, doing fine, can't complain. Our fishing line, fishing for compliments, is tell me I'm pretty. Our subway line, when being asked about your sandwich, is 6-inch or foot long. Our assembly line at a big gathering was please be seated. Our power line to your superior is you're the boss. Our subject line, as the anthem, is God Save the Queen. And then we had others in the downs that'll be a little bit more difficult to find, unfortunately. Maybe I'll find them through the list here. Private line is sir, yes, sir, said to an officer. Party line. Oh, is it just going to be these two? Party line at a birthday would be make a wish. And I think those might be the only two in the downs. They are. Okay, well, there we go. Those were our lines, our punch lines. And and that was a Sunday crossword. Not a very involved theme, so you can go through and solve the puzzle without needing to worry about any sort of geometric element or rebus or anything like that. But you do basically need to get the idea that these are sort of punny references to common lines or quips. And there you go. That was the Sunday crossword by Daniel Grinberg. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for the much quicker, much simpler, much smaller Monday puzzle, still with a theme. So join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Sunday. Take care.